You've learned how to do the 5-beat weave. Now what comes next? Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today we are learning what you can do once you have gotten down your 5-beat weaves. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. So, welcome back to my series, What Comes Next? The theory behind this series is that once you've learned a new poi trick, it inevitably comes up the question of, what can I do with this? Are there variants on it? Are there specific things that involve the use of it? This is me connecting those dots for you. It's not a tutorial, it's not a combo, it's somewhere in between. And like a couple other videos you've already seen in this series, this particular video is a request from Justin Coleman. It is the 5-beat weave. If you have a request, you can be like Justin and let me know down in the comments, and I might do a video on variants and what comes next once you learn the particular trick that you've got in mind. So I'm not gonna lie, this one was actually pretty hard for me to put together because I almost never use 5-beat weaves, and when I do use them, it's usually in conjunction with stuff that is really hard and that I don't necessarily want to throw into a video like this because it'll involve a lot more work than I would intend for y'all. So I've done my best with what I have, and two of the things in this are basically variants of each other. I hope you'll forgive me for that. And I'm going to make the assumption before we go any further in this video that you've gotten down your 5-beat weaves going both forwards as well as reverse. That is going to be important here. And if you can do both your forwards 5-beat weaves and your reverse 5-beat weaves, that means you can do your 5-beat weave waist straps, right? If so, excellent, because our first stop is we're going to talk about the InSpin 5-beat weave fountain. So there's something very curious that happens with a 5-beat weave when you take it into a fountain, in that to a certain degree, I really stopped thinking of it as being a fountain per se, and almost more as being a flower. And specifically, I think of it having quadrants, that is, places that you wrap up your hands at 4 points around your body, over each shoulder and next to each hip. Now, your mileage on this interpretation may vary. Perhaps you can make your InSpin 5-beat weave fountains a little bit smoother than mine and make them feel like a continuous thing, but I've always had more luck in thinking about them just as being a move that stops in each of those quadrants, and you have that moment where you're wrapping around behind you or back in front of you, depending. Why would you use this? Well, to be perfectly frank with you, the same reason you would use a 5-beat weave in the first place. It kind of slows down a weave so that you can trip it out a little bit and work at a slightly different tempo. And when you're doing a waist wrap slash fountain with a 5-beat weave, it also means that you can take your time with it. And I personally think that's pretty cool. All right, next up. I'm going to cheat a little bit because if there's an InSpin fountain, there's also an anti-spin fountain, yeah? Now, the thing that always messes with me about this is that I have to flip my quadrants around. That is, if I am doing the thing where I'm putting the poi behind me down next to my right hip, I have to do the opposite with the anti-spin. I have to bring the poi around in front of me. In fact, you can really easily just go straight back and forth between the two if you hang out in the same quadrant and just switch which side you happen to be working on. Also should be said, the anti-spin version of this is kind of tricky to move around your body simply because as your arms are twisting up and everything, moving an anti-spin, the poi kind of have a slightly narrower range that they can work inside of, and it's a little bit more likely that you're going to hit yourself there. All that said, I think the price is totally worth it. The anti-spin variant on this looks super cool, and like the InSpin variant, takes that 5-beat weave and kind of slows it down as it moves around your body. I think it's pretty cool. All right, and for our final entry today of what you can do next after you learn 5-beat weaves, this is literally something that I just made up this past week, so I would have something else to throw in this video. But it is a 5-beat, 1.5-beat weave. What in God's name did I just say? Okay, so here's the theory, is as you're doing a 1.5-beat weave and everything, you basically hang out and do an extra twist on each side of the body. Now, I don't really consider this part of the canon of poi tricks per se, but it is a kind of funky thing you can do with a 1.5 that people might not be expecting. I 100% believe that there is a place for just like dropping out of something that everybody knows and loves and adding a degree of twist onto it and everything, just to mess with people and show them, hey, I can. The other thing I like about this, once again, is that it changes levels at least somewhat when dealing with a 5-beat weave. You know, when you have that moment where the pendulum goes over top and then cross your arms around underneath and everything, there's definitely a dynamic shift that happens there. And you know me, I'm always a fan of dynamic shifts. So there you go, friends. 3 ideas for what comes next after you learn your 5-beat weaves. Now do me a favor, post some video of yourself doing one of these variations, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, and make sure to tag me. I would love to see your version of all these different variants and to find out which one was your favorite. And if you got anything out of this video, pretty please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, both to help other people find it, as well as to help my channel grow. Finally, a huge thank you, because this video would not be possible without the kind contributions of these amazing folks right here. These are my Flow patrons on Patreon, and they, along with the wonderful people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. If you would like to sign up to support me in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and signing up. There you can get early access to all of my content, as well as a say in what topics I tackle in the future. Plus which, some great extras and behind-the-scenes content as well. So, go check that out. Please and thank you. What trick would you like to see me tackle in this series next? Please leave me a comment and let me know. I might choose yours. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're also getting a link on screen to a playlist that features more videos in this series, so you can learn what comes next after you learn a variety of different poi tricks out there. I'll also include a link to that playlist on both Instagram and Facebook as well. For now, make sure you get out this weekend and get some flow on, and I will see you with a new video on Monday. Peace.